So if we go to our assignment, we're going to see under classwork, so we have a Wolfram document, and we want to see if we can use that. So we're going to make a copy. Just going to make a copy of it, and just want to get a little more practice. A little more practice in using Wolfram to do these calculations. So the idea really is that you'll be able to use Wolfram for anything. As you go higher in math, you can solve anything you're going to have higher in math. It's a nice way to check your work. And so we see we have, if we give these functions the degrees, we can get out the ratio. Or if we give the arcsine, arccos, arctan, the ratio, it'll tell us the angle. Okay, we need to put a couple of parameters on here. And the reason for that is there's another way of measuring angles that we haven't talked about yet. Okay, so now let's say that we want to use these. And so I've made the diagram, so we did that in our homework. And so this one, it looks like we have a 65-degree angle, right? And so if let's just say I have text here. So in my text, I would say the sine of 65 degrees equals the ratio of the opposite wall to the ladder. So that was the drawing I made. So okay, sine of that, and then so if we go to the Wolfram, the language, we think, well, what should we do? And so, a lot of times what you want to do, you want to see if you can copy this, and we say, okay, I'm going to copy this, and so what is it I don't know? So I don't know the opposite wall, and so I say, oh, I just need to multiply by 10. So I'm going to evaluate that, and I get 5 radical 3. Okay, so that's great, right? But you might say, well, I don't like that, and so if you want to just get, so in a way that's more accurate. But if you put that // n in, let's see if that changes what happens. So that's saying give us a decimal answer, and it doesn't, right? So then we say, well, I wonder if I have to do this. Okay, so I try that, and so I had to put it in parentheses. Okay, so you see how it's kind of a gradual approach. So you try something, it doesn't work, so you say, okay, there's something about this. So maybe with order of operations for Wolfram, it said I didn't like to do that. So let's then see here. So I change this into text, and I say it casts a 60-foot pole, so 15 shadow. And so it looks like angle. So for the 40-degree angle, so I've got my drawing here. It'd be nice if you could put it in if you felt like it, but I'm trying to show you. I don't know if you have that same. It's very easy for me. I can do it from my iPad and just send drawings over. All right, maybe I should do that. Okay. Why don't I just show you? So this is the ideal workflow, right? Is within Wolfram. You say, okay, so I've got this little drawing, right? So I say, okay, I'm going to take the little drawing. Now I'm going to send it. Okay, and so for me, I can airdrop it. So I airdrop it over. Okay, so I've airdropped it over, and then I go to my downloads. And let's say, so if I'm in the downloads, I say go down. That didn't work. And I never remember if it's option down or, yeah, option goes down. And so then here's my image. Okay, so I say, all right, and I can just take a screenshot of that. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Okay, so you can do this, right? So I can then hit the, okay. And so there's my drawing, right? So that would be a little bit easier way to do it. Okay, so it's very nice, right? You can cut and paste into it. So, you know, as you get further along, see if you can, somehow arrange to have a tablet along with your laptop, and I think you'll find as you go on in school, it's useful to be able to do both. Or to have the touchscreen, I guess, touchscreen. Maybe everything will be a touchscreen laptop. Okay, so when we look at that, what do we have? So it seems like we're saying we want to know how tall the flagpole is. So it's the tangent, right, the opposite to the adjacent, right, equals the tangent of 15 feet. And so we go on up and we say, do we have tangent? So you notice how you just you copy something that's worked. That's a big part of the success story, in computer science. It's so easy for things not to work. And so this one looks again like it's going to be, we're going to multiply yeah, 15 times the tangent. And let's say, so we'll do that. Okay. So does that, and then say, does that make sense? Do you expect that side to be smaller? And you say, well, if at 45 degrees it would have been 15 feet, so it would have been smaller. Now you might say, well, what if I'd had the opposite? What if I'd known 12.5865? So what would you do then? So then you divide, and let's see if there's a divide. So notice how there is a divide function. So we say, well, what do we want to divide? So we want to divide 12.5865, and we want to divide that, and so then we can just use the commas. And so we might try, you might say, well, let's see what happens if I put in tan 40 degrees. Okay. And so you say, okay, let's try that. Okay, and then I say, well, okay, so that worked, right? So that's a different thing you could do. All right, so we'll keep practicing. So do this today, tomorrow, and on Monday we'll also keep using it. Now, and so you can see that, so you're putting in a little bit of effort to start, but now all of a sudden it's getting easier, right? You have examples you can copy from. You've got the two patterns, right? So one do I multiply? Okay. If I don't know the smaller one, I'm going to divide by the tangent, and you get your patterns down, and then you just do it over and over again, and that's why ultimately everyone does things with computers. So you work on getting the pattern programmed in, and then now you just need to recognize the pattern. You don't have to do any more calculation, and that's life, right? That's life outside of a middle school math course.